ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has urged members to save the party from disintegrating. Ramaphosa was speaking at the 5th ANC National General Council underway in Boksburg in Ekurhuleni. The NGC is a midterm platform to take stock of the implementation of resolutions adopted in the 2022 National Conference. Ramaphosa says they want to rid the party from factionalism before its 120-year celebration.
The ANC must be united around the values and the principles of our movement. Enhancing the quality of membership and leadership is key to the renewal of the ANC, as was stated by the NEC in the January 8th statement. It continued to say that the membership system of the ANC is also being overhauled to ensure that the movement attracts into its ranks the kind of people who are willing to serve the people of South Africa. The criteria for membership and screening process to rid the ANC of criminals is an important part of the renewal process.
All right, let's now cross to Sakina Kamwendo for more on the ANC National General Council. Sakina?
Well, thanks, Leanne. Welcome back to Birchwood. And I just want to pick up exactly where the President left off there, and Samkele, just getting to the discussion documents, the base documents, and what they speak to. And picking up on what the President was just talking to there is the situational diagnosis, the internal situational diagnosis for the ANC. And the President there speaks about, cadres. And just to look at what some of the issues are that the documents touch on. The weakened branch structures and the poor political education. And you would remember through the eye of the needle and, that sort of ethical cadre that the ANC was after, which is something that over the years has really been eroded.
It has definitely been eroded, particularly if you go back to the success of ANC documents, conference documents, you go to the organizational report, which was the diagnostic report delivered by the then Secretary General in 2017, Kwede Mantashe, which spoke about the intellectual and ideological bankruptcy within the ANC general membership and ANC leadership. You go to how the Secretary General now, Fikile Mbalula, was speaking about the base course that is there, a foundation course for ANC members, how the young lions who are on the prowl, who are going hunting, have not been attending that particular education, political education foundation course of the African National Congress. Their attendance was very dismal, it was very poor. Then you go to some provinces that have emphasized the issue of political education. You go to KwaZulu-Natal under the then leadership of Mdumiseni Ntuli, where Thabo Mbeki used to go regularly to induct and to have political classes and political education with the ANC membership and ANC leadership. He's also been several times to the Eastern Cape. Advocate Kwazimi Shengu in KwaZulu-Natal now tries to spearhead that particular political education within the ANC. Then there was a time when the late Nathi Mthethwa was the head of the ANC's political school and political education, whom many of the young leaders you see as MECs today went through that particular school under the leadership of Nyombose. But unfortunately, the ANC general populace and membership chose to go on the route of crass materialism as opposed to intellectual depth and ideological clarity, where the ANC now finds itself at a cul-de-sac when it comes to its ideological standing. Many people questioning the ANC's ideological lineage, whether it is still a broad church or has it now been hijacked by the capitalist class and no longer represents the left axis of the Congress movement. As you know, ANC leaders would say, no, everybody is in this pot. We are a broad church. We will never choose a particular strata. We represent all stratas, and the ANC's dominance in time is because of which class is more dominant than the other.
But we do know, of course, the issue of minorities within the ANC and their dwindling numbers as well, and representation has been a bugbear. The late Jesse Duarte, we remember, was someone who often spearheaded that particular discussion, and that's an issue for discussion. The base documents also go into the issue of factionalism and patronage networks that undermine decision-making within the ANC.
It speaks about how the organization has been mortgaged off. For instance, you've recently had Dada Murero, the former regional chairperson of city of Johannesburg region, speaking about how money now determines the ANC's trajectory. You've heard the president of the ANC bemoaning the use of money. He even went to further clarity in the political overview report, saying that ANC leaders should desist from displaying their wealth and luxurious vehicles to the South African population, because that creates a discord and a discontentness between the ANC and the people, which grows that social gap between the African National Congress and the people that they represent. For instance, if you look at ANC leaders today, an ANC leader who represents the people of Umlas, who is in the region, will not stay in Umlas. He'll either be staying in Izinga, Zimbali, in your affluent areas, and not be amongst the people. Councillors will no longer be in the wards that they reside. They would be staying in the suburban areas, yet representing someone in Mhlangandlovu, but staying in Greytown, in the city. And those are some of the disparities that are there in the political overview report and the organizational report. But also, if you look at the economic aspect, the ANC has been unable to be at the forefront of the intellectual and economic debate within the country. At some point, the late former Minister of Finance, Tito Mboweni, got in trouble for releasing a document of the economic trajectory of the country from Treasury and not having that document go through the structures of the ANC.
And these are some of the issues that, of course, will find expression here at the 5th NGC of the ANC, and also speaking to issues of cadre deployment, how members' loyalty to other members actually trump competence when it comes to these matters, among others. And as Samkela says, one of the clear, pertinent issues here is that, of course, of economic transformation, radical economic transformation. What does that look like in 2025 for the African National Congress?